You know, the toughest thing to do is 8 glasses of water a day.
Oh, you're not doing that, are you?
Tough.
Really keeps you on the go. You start out saying, discussing something and say, hey, see you in a minute.
Jonathan Winters perfected the art of turning any situation into comedy gold.
And I was setting up the train because Dad was resting. I was told he was resting. He rested for the first 7 years of... it was like this. Hey, how you doing?
These are Jonathan Winters' top 50 jokes of all time. Accidentally glued his cat to the floor.
I had a thing happen. I was painting the other night, and some glue spilled on the floor, and I forgot momentarily. I phase out, just phase out. And here was glue just all over, and my cat came down. I noticed Kitty was quite still. So I said, come on, Tiger, come on, Tiger. That's
Tiger.
his name, Tiger. And Tiger's just like this, And I looked down at his little paws, and he was in quite hard in the glue. I'm strong, I can get out of it. I said, you just make up your mind you're going to get out of that glue. But I had to give him some help.
Yeah, that's too bad.
So, left his paws, but...
Winters turns a small household mistake into a full disaster story, adding little details until the whole thing becomes completely absurd. The Marines didn't know what to do with him.
I was always disturbed because I didn't know where I was. And unless you're an officer, you see, you're not clued in. And you're not given the top papers, which I felt I should have had at least 1 or 2 papers. And I kept asking questions, which is always trouble. Running up to a captain, or a colonel like yourself and saying, where are we, sir? None of your business. Move out. And I was always moving out. I was frightened a great deal of the time. I was frightened of the guys. I didn't understand a lot of them. They didn't understand me. I was kidding all the time, I'd be in grandma 1 minute. And, hi, honey,
Military discipline becomes impossible the second Jonathan starts explaining why he didn't fit in, making the Marines seem unprepared for a recruit like him. The prop improv explosion.
Millard Settlinger.
Millard Settlinger. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our great pleasure to talk with the only living American ex-president, Millard Settlinger. Mr. President, and I understand that you are always Mr. President, even though, of course, you are now out of office. That's
Yeah, that's standard. It's like a man is a colonel or a general, he's always a general.
Does Mrs. Settlinger refer to you as the president, or does she call you Millard?
She's in the basement a lot.
Jonathan's prop work shows why other comics treated him like a different species, making nothing items feel like they've been waiting backstage for their big break. His parents liked to drink.
Mother, it's me, and her eyes were not Vaseline at that time. And I said, Johnny, your son. I see you. So it was a very demonstrative family, and ran to a lot of the minorities would run and grab each other, but whew, boy, when you're full Caucasian, a lot of times it's back off, So,
full Caucasians
full
are like
Caucasian.
that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, and eventually she grabbed me, the bottle dropped, Oh, hi, sweetheart, it is you. And
Jonathan talks about his parents drinking with a strange mix of nostalgia and disbelief, reconstructing an entire childhood atmosphere where adults behave like cartoon characters. Why Winters quit drinking.
He said, you've been drinking. And I said, officer, I have. I said, I'm so glad you stopped me. I said, I just experienced an earthquake about 20 miles back, and the bridge collapsed. I had to drive around. I gave him a story. I told him an earthquake, an electrical storm, saw a plane land in a field, and all the time the guy's just doing this. Wonderful, very funny, very funny. And gave me a check. Not a check.
Jonathan's quitting drinking story has a funny edge because he refuses to turn it into a neat inspirational speech. Winters struggled in school.
I don't know.
Were you any good in
to
school?
say.
What were you-
I was kidding.
What were you like in school?
What was I like?
Were you disruptive?
Oh.
Were you a...
No, I wasn't.
Now, most people would think you're crazy.
I know that. Well, they do today.
Yes.
But years ago, I was a very normal child. Too normal, probably. I wasn't making any money. No, my parents were divorced. I won't go into a long thing in deference to they're gone anyway. But
sorry to hear
the thing was that Dad was off, somewhere in an open field or, settling insurance policies near a creek bank, and so
School becomes another place where Jonathan's imagination refuses to sit still, making the classroom sound less like a place of learning and more like a room trying to survive him. Christmas parties turn into combat.
You have been in the past, been to Christmas parties. Both of us been to Christmas parties years ago where we had, more than...
Well, where we had to crawl
time.
out, on our hands and knees and try to make out where the car is. Yeah. It's embarrassing to spend a whole evening, where is my car? Mr. Winters, don't you know? No, I wouldn't have said that. No. What kind of car is it? I don't know that.
Or if you brought one.
The real car is a black car.
Now,
With the tires.
Yeah, this time of year now.
Jonathan takes Christmas parties as a safe and friendly subject and makes them sound like strange little survival missions. The toy train electrocution story.
And we were not wealthy. We were wealthy, but it was taken in about an hour. And instantly went to wood toys. So things like broomsticks, with carved faces on them. So stockings were filled full of just walnuts, and that's a bummer, gang, A stocking full of walnuts? Oh, another one. Tell me.
Jonathan's toy train story turns a childhood toy into a little machine of pain, selling it with complete seriousness, eating barbecue ribs when he won an Emmy.
We had a choice, one choice, of going to a fellow's house to have ribs. And thought I'd say his, no. But we had, they were marvelous ribs, hands, all that stuff. And then we sat down and watched. There were about 12 or 14 of us, and then they announced it. And I saw the picture of myself, the still. And there's no explanation, where is he? They can say a lot of things. And I was in just a house with a handful of other people, and ribs. So,
winning an Emmy should sound glamorous, but Jonathan turns it into a messy food story, making a major career honor arrive while he's in the middle of something completely unpolished.
But it was a big thrill. I asked, and then the following day, I said, where is the award?
That's right.
And somebody said, well, since you weren't there, you don't get it.
Was that your wife again?
No.
Jonathan's in a league of his own.
All right, General Richard Discord.
You can call me Dick.
All right, Dick.
Good ball player always does this.
Yeah.
Works the bill. Yeah. If it's like this, he's a truck driver. If it's like this, he's been hit by a truck. Wayne, second face.
Wayne second face.
Wayne's second face.
Where do you call home, Wayne?
Wales. No, I'm kidding. We're Wales descent.
Yeah.
People are from Wales originally, and Scotland, and also Istanbul.
Yeah.
Johnny barely has to guide the segment because Jonathan walks in carrying his own universe, becoming a soldier, neighbor, old man, salesman, or confused witness. Robin Williams and Jonathan Winters collide.
We were drunk this time. Well, great to be here.
Nice to see you, my God.
Nice to be here.
How goes the battle?
Well, pretty good so far. Made it across into Van Nuys. That one shoulder took us out. Gosh, I was so taken with this guy. I was when I first met him, and on Mork and Mindy, we had a marvelous time.
Those were good days.
On Carson, Jonathan and Robin Williams together feel like two runaway trains, somehow sharing the same track with Jonathan's strange stillness, changing the room with one odd look. Mork and Mindy memories with Robin Williams.
I noticed the stuff wore off tonight.
Yes, sir.
But,
Colombian college fund.
Mr. Williams didn't know you in the days when you and I were
when we were
hanging
on the
out
sauce.
when we were having a little...
well, yeah, Johnny and I...
Can we have those blocked for you?
I'm sorry.
Could we have those sent out and clean for you?
It was easy getting them on. And now, here, you want to play with those?
Oh, yeah. This way I won't have so much guilt.
The Mork and Mindy discussion turns into more than nostalgia because both men keep slipping into performance mode, making memory wobble with little side voices. Winters with Robin Williams and Park Overall.
Don't you feel? Well, we got a lot of state parks. And I'm in those parks, and I
dogs
enjoy that look on an animal. Though it's funny, they go. And the guy goes into dogland.
Your dogs are a little old, though, to breed. I mean, they're probably
Oh, I
past
would
that.
never think breeding them. No, never, because they're too strange.
Yeah.
The 1991 Couch segment has a late-era Carson Tonight Show, feeling that could go off the rails with Jonathan's interruptions arriving like strange little grenades. Winter's Letterman interview turns into chaos.
But as for Lamar, and he'll get you in. I don't think he'll get you onto the track.
No, we don't
How
want
much
them.
gas did you want?
We need to fill it up.
How much
Just
gas?
Top it off.
Fill it up?
Top it off.
Low lead?
Yeah, that's good.
Because I can't read or write, and I have to ask the person. I'm an illiterate, but I have a good outlook on life. God bless you.
Thank you very much, and we'll stop in again.
Okay, and was that the missus with you?
Yeah.
Boy, hi, honey.
Letterman gives Jonathan a different kind of room than Carson, and Winters adjusts instantly, turning empty space into a playground for half-formed thoughts and sudden voices. Letterman viewer mail with Robin Williams.
Not a long story, very brief story. Long stay, but brief re-entry. I came here, actually, David, from Ohio with $56.46, and was married and still married. I had one child, now I have two children. Time, you go along, you have to keep active, and so
So you had the second kid just for something to do, huh?
Yeah, settled with two other guys down the village.
Uh-huh.
Who were okay, and I guess still are. And
Viewer mail becomes dangerous when Jonathan and Robin are both allowed near it, as Winters treats every question like an excuse to become a completely different person. Mark Twain, prize acceptance speech.
And this high, the chandeliers, my wife said, could we get one?
Jonathan's award speech refuses to behave like a normal tribute moment, undercutting the seriousness with stray jokes, odd pauses, and little character turns. Vacation People with Dean Martin.
Could you tell us your name, please?
my name's B.B. Bindlestick. I own about 35 or 40 companies. Quite a wealthy man.
Jonathan turns vacation stereotypes into moving targets with Dean Martin as the perfect relaxed counterweight, while Winters keeps inventing increasingly odd versions of travelers.
41 years. Tiny little woman, but fast on her feet. And,
Winters' Airline Passengers. Skit.
he's rude, Margaret. Not like you are on the television.
Air travel gives Jonathan a perfect setting because everyone is trapped, anxious, and pretending to be normal, turning passengers into strange little studies. At the bar with Dean Martin.
Outside of Willard in Illinois. I'm staying at the Stony Bridge Motel. Look. I've had a few drinks. Okay? Yeah.
The bar sketch gives Jonathan a setting where almost any strange character can walk in and still make sense, making it a place where lonely men, big talkers, and delusional customers all seem waiting for their cue. New Toys with Dean Martin.
And I have been married some 36 years. We're both of Norwegian descent. Families used to repair sardine nets.
New Toys lets Jonathan act like a child salesman, inventor, and confused parent all at once, treating every toy like it has a dangerous backstory. Winters with Dean and Maude.
I don't know. Well, what's your pleasure?
Well, if I told you that, we'd be off the air.
Maude Frickert gives Jonathan a perfect disguise for controlled nastiness, as the character becomes a complete worldview built out of judgment, flirtation, and blunt timing. Maude Frickert buys a TV.
No, well, what I meant was on the trade-in, I meant the TV set. Here, let me show you one of our new models right here.
Oh, mercy. Lucy's hair's on fire.
A simple television purchase becomes a full character piece once Maude enters the store, making customer service comedy feel personal, as every question becomes a chance to judge. The Elwood P. Suggins Show.
Take a seat right there.
There?
No, over here. Over here.
Oh, said take it.
Well,
Elwood P. Suggins is funny because Jonathan plays him with total rural confidence, speaking like he's never doubted a single thought even when the thought makes no sense. He doesn't make Elwood a simple dumb character, but gives him pride, suspicion, and sideways intelligence. Elwood talks about racing.
my dad says, first thing you want to do is take the guy out. And so I took him out and won the race.
Racing becomes much stranger once Elwood starts explaining it, as Jonathan takes a subject that already has noise, speed, and risk, then filters it through a man who sounds like he learned everything from a county fair argument. Elwood interviews a racing figure.
Tore the field up real good.
Yeah, it did. That was kind of a quick landing and a quick exit.
Putting Elwood in an interview format makes the joke sharper because he suddenly has authority he shouldn't have, turning an interview into a personal ramble without noticing. The Wacky World with Pat Boone. Jonathan's Wacky World format gives him permission to make television feel like a sketchbook, with Pat Boone bringing polished variety show calm while Winters brings disorder. The Wacky World with Burt Reynolds.
You know, I wanted to ask you something, Mr. Settlinger.
I'm getting sick of you.
Burt Reynolds gives Jonathan a strong straight man because Burt can laugh at the chaos without getting swallowed by it, letting Jonathan go further without making the scene feel uncomfortable. Orson Welles introduces Winters on Wacky Worlds.
Renee here. I've got a photo session this afternoon with Renee.
Renee's dead. Renee did a wild thing.
An Orson Welles introduction gives Jonathan's silliness a grand frame, making the contrast funnier as the show presents absurdity with the formality of an important event. Ricardo Montalban improv sketch.
And your tribal chief has a toothache.
Open up your face and let me see you.
Ricardo Montalban gives the sketch elegance, and Jonathan immediately finds comedy in the difference between elegance and nonsense, letting the scene become slightly stranger with each exchange. Dick Martin, sketch from Wacky World.
Well, I don't want too much off the top, but...
Dick Martin's dry style gives Jonathan a different kind of partner as Martin can sit inside absurdity without trying to explain it, leaving Winters free to keep escalating. Roasting Frank Sinatra.
I just called him Frank, right? And, what's the matter with the man here? What's him?
Jonathan's Sinatra roast stands out because he doesn't rely on cruelty, bringing odd phrasing sideways images and a sense that the joke might wander into another county. Best of the Dean Martin Show.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I never thought I'd be shot in the bathtub, that's all.
The Dean Martin Show was a perfect home for Jonathan because it welcomed loose sketch energy, as Winters could enter a bit as one type of person and leave as someone completely different. The Jack Paar Show appearance.
Only his hairdresser knows for sure. You devil.
Jack Paar's show gave Jonathan an earlier late-night stage where his oddness felt even more unusual, as he sounds like a guest who might answer the question or become someone else entirely. Paar's style lets the conversation feel more literary, making the funny moments sneakier. What's My Line panel appearance.
All right. As you know, panel, a different form of questioning now. One question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Dorothy Kilgallen.
What's My Line gives Jonathan strict rules, which makes his personality even funnier, as the format asks panelists to be polite as well as controlled. What's My Line with Arthur Godfrey.
Are you a young man?
Comparatively young.
The Arthur Godfrey episode places Jonathan in a room full of polished television manners, making every odd pause and strange question feel sharper, as he seems capable of turning even a yes or no question into a performance. Audience questions with Carol Burnett.
Questions for Jonathan?
Yeah, constantly. I lost a lot in my ears.
Audience questions give Jonathan a perfect launching pad because he never has to know what's coming, treating each question like raw material for a mini character piece. Barbara Eden and Jonathan on Carol Burnett.
Dog.
Oh, wonderful. Give us a little kiss.
Not tonight. I have a headache.
Barbara Eden brings a clean television charm that gives Jonathan another polished surface to disrupt, as he uses that freedom to lean harder into physical expression and exaggerated character behavior. Dionne Warwick and Jonathan Winters on Carol Burnett. A variety show with Dionne Warwick could easily lean polished and musical, but Jonathan adds a completely different current, making his comedy feel like it wandered in from another room. The Tim Conway Show matchup.
Not riding a horse yet. How are you, young man? Good. See you in the garden.
Tim Conway and Jonathan Winters together create a quieter kind of danger than Robin Williams, as Conway is sneaky and patient, while Winters can suddenly open 10 different doors. The comedy comes from watching two masters of character timing refuse to rush. Candid camera gold with Jonathan.
This iron, because it's more expensive than most of them are. I purposely bought him because I figured I was getting a good product.
Candid camera works for Jonathan because hidden camera comedy already lives in awkward reality, as Winters makes that reality feel even more unstable, appearing like a normal participant, then revealing strange internal logic. Winters and the Smothers brothers.
Big shoulders, tiny waist. wrapped in elephant skin, and he's...
The Smothers Brothers setting gives Jonathan a slightly sharper counterculture edge, as their show could handle odd timing, strange interruptions, and comedy that didn't behave like a standard variety bit. The Working with Bob Hope story.
Hope came out with Barbara Walters, and she hit him with the Forbes book and said, "You're worth $850 million, and or close to $1 billion." And then she said, "No, $850 million." And about
Jonathan's Bob Hope story is funny because it places him beside one of the most controlled joke machines in comedy history, making the humor come from hearing him describe that contrast without turning it into a lecture. Winters explains Maude Frickert.
I decided to get a hip old lady. And you could say it's like Geraldine and Flip Wilson.
When Jonathan explains Maude Frickert, the funny part is that the character still feels alive even in discussion, as he talks about her like she's not just a voice, but someone he had to manage. His descriptions reveal how closely he watched older people and turned their rhythms into comedy. Jonathan's advice for aspiring comedians.
No, I would say this. Something I didn't do, that had I known this, I would have had some big reservations. If you're going to go into this business.
Jonathan's advice to comedians is funny because he can't completely stop being a comedian while giving it, making comedy seem like something you survive, observe, and then twist into your own language. Winters draws from real-life people.
Rednecks, but the guy, for instance, I went home one time, long after I'd made a success of myself, and had some pretty decent exposure in movies, one thing.
Jonathan's real-life inspiration stories reveal why his characters felt so specific, as he didn't build them from generic funny voices, but watched people store their odd habits and brought them back later. Winters' funny bits between takes.
How was I? Why do they ask that question? How was I? Because the lady says, Paul and Carl and Brad were better.
Between takes, Jonathan often seems funnier than most people are during the official performance, as the lack of structure helps him follow whatever strange impulse appears first. On the Loose documentary moments.
Up there, Gertrude. This mule's never been taken advantage of. Not by a human.
On the Loose is useful because it gathers the different sides of Jonathan's comic personality in one place, as the funniest moments aren't always framed like formal jokes, but come from sudden character memory or sideways comment. The documentary format gives more context to why his comedy felt so uncontrolled while still being deeply shaped by observation. A Wild Winter's Night.
Hi there. Would you like to show an old swinger some of the sights, little soldier? Goodies are happening all over my bud.
A Wild Winter's Night captures Jonathan when television was still figuring out how to contain him, as the special format lets him move through characters and ideas without the tight limits of a talk show answer. Jonathan Winters proved that the wildest comic minds don't need written jokes, because he spent 5 glorious decades turning every appearance into proof that improvisation, character work, and pure imagination could destroy an audience faster than any punchline. From making Carson laugh until he cried to turning Dean Martin into the straight man, these moments showed that Winters invented comedy faster than anyone could follow. Which Jonathan Winters moment made you laugh the hardest? And subscribe for more legendary comedy that never gets old.